User stories should be small enough to work with. The smaller you divide the story, the easier it becomes to understand and implement. We may start with a big story, but as the team discusses and refines it, it is divided into smaller stories. But dividing the story too small can also cause the story to not hold value. So, we need to stop at the point where we see that further division of the story drains the value out. For example, consider a login screen where the user can fill in the user's name, password, and click the login button to log in. If we further try to divide it by having the provision to enter the user's username and password in one user story, and the implementation of the login button click in the second story, the first story will not be usable until the second story is implemented. So, the first story doesn't deliver any value. To be a good user story, it should be small, keeping in mind it delivers value.
Raghav, is there an ideal size of a story in terms of story points?
See, story point is a relative sizing mechanism, and its benchmark is specific to the team. So, a 5-pointer for one team may not be the same as a 5-pointer for a different team. Considering that, it will not be practical to generalize the ideal size of a user story in story points. Having said that, it will be good practice to size the user story in such a way that the user story does not take more than half the duration of the sprint. Considering the velocity of the team can always set a limit, so that if the story is beyond a specific story point, it will not be taken up for development until it is divided into a more manageable size. I have worked in a team where the upper limit was set to 8.
Does that mean there will be no user story in the product backlog beyond 8 story points?
No, there will be user stories at the bottom of the product backlog, which have story points beyond the set limit, and there will be stories which may not even be estimated. But, as the backlog refinement happens and those stories are brought higher in the backlog, they will be estimated. Bigger stories will be split up into smaller stories. I hope it is clear.
Want to see how this team transformed using Scrum? Discover the full journey in My Agile Journey with Scrum. Read the book and unlock practical insights through a story.